other day, Julian Edelman announced he was retiring. And for those that don't know, it was due to a failed physical where the Patriots ended up releasing him for not passing it. And at that point, he was just like, I'm done. I'm going to retire. And I completely understand because it's like, why? He's not going to go to the Buccaneers. I think a lot of people were speculating, oh, he's going to go to the Buccaneers. He's going to go. And personally, I just don't see him going to the Buccaneers because there's just no point. They got a full team. They got all their starters back. If you're going to bring anyone back, you need to bring back Antonio Brown. You got Scotty Miller. You got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. You got Johnson as well. You got O.J. Howard. You got Rob Gronkowski. You don't need Julian Edelman. Clearly you don't. You won the Super Bowl without him. So, and you don't even know what kind of health he's in. I just think that if I'm the Buccaneers, I am just not going to touch Julian Edelman. Not because he's just not ready to play anymore. That's all I can say. He's just kind of a shell of himself. And not even an hour after he retired, people were saying, is he the Hall of Fame? Is he worthy of the Hall of Fame? Yes or no? And I feel like the people that are truly saying that he's worthy of the Hall of Fame are Patriots fans. And there's just a lot of guys that if you want to say Hall of Fame, there's a lot of guys out there that you can find that are Hall of Fame worthy. Now, Julian Edelman is no doubt a great player. He was fun to watch. He was fun to... They call him the squirrel, right? Because he was little. He overcame a lot of odds. A 7th-round pick of Kent State that's not really known for draft picks. As a quarterback, transitioned to receiver because of his speed and had a long career in the NFL. Not many guys can say that they did that. But he had a long career in the NFL for that reason. Now, people can look at if you look at his regular season stats, he was not good in the regular season. But people are pointing to playoffs. Playoffs are the reason why Julian Edelman needs to go. He was a 3-time Super Bowl winner and a Super Bowl MVP. Okay. Now, I'm going to read you off some stats. And I'm going to read off stats of Julian Edelman. And I'm going to read you off the stats of another receiver as well. See if you can figure out who I'm talking about. Let's just go with that. Because this name came across my mind where I was like, wait a minute. This guy's not even in the Hall of Fame. Let me look up his stats. So let's give you Julian's first. In the playoffs, because we're talking about the playoffs. Because that's where people want to back up Julian Edelman and say, well, in the playoffs, he did this. He had a phenomenal catch. He had that. Dude, I have seen phenomenal catches for days. Let's go into this now. 1,442 yards receiving, 5 touchdown receptions in 19 playoff games. Okay. The other receiver has 948 yards receiving in 17 playoff games and 4 touchdowns. This receiver was a 2-time Super Bowl winner with a Super Bowl MVP to his name. Can you tell me the receiver that I'm referring to? I'm referring to Deion Branch. He has been out of the league longer than a 5-year period that you have to wait to be eligible for the Hall of Fame. He's been out of the league. Hasn't played since 2014. Now, if I'm Deion Branch, I'm asking myself, if Julian gets in, why am I not getting in? The era that Deion Branch and Julian Edelman both played in are 2 different eras. Oh, but Deion Branch, when he first came to the league, this was not a passing league. Like today, it's a passing league. Right? We all can agree. The rules of the game today have benefited more to the offense and to the receivers than it has back in the day when Deion Branch and Brady was young. Like, it benefited them. It benefits them now compared to what it used to be. Because I was talking to someone and they mentioned, hey, when you look at people that are in the Hall of Fame already, years ago, you look at their stats and they try and you had their stats to try and put them in the Hall of Fame today, they wouldn't all make it. And it's true. They play in different eras. But Julian Edelman has less receiving yards than a lot of other receivers that are not in the Hall of Fame or probably not even going to make it to the Hall of Fame. Well, stats can't be the only thing. He was a 3-time Super Bowl winner and a Super Bowl MVP. Super Bowl MVP does not mean you get into the Hall of Fame. If we're going to say that, Joe Flacco's getting in no problem. Do we really think Joe Flacco deserves the Hall of Fame? I didn't think so. He doesn't. I'm sorry. A Super Bowl, 1 ring, and MVP. All at the Super Bowl. That's it. He just doesn't deserve it. Now, if you look at the regular season, Deion Branch was in the league less and had more touchdowns than Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman was in the league longer, had less touchdowns. Now, I think Edelman had like a couple hundred yards more than Deion Branch, or vice versa. But that's not really a difference to say Hall of Fame or not, and not Hall of Fame. So we're trying to say that one Super Bowl ring is what is separating Julian Edelman and Deion Branch from someone getting in and somebody not. I don't see the way that Julian Edelman gets into the Hall of Fame. Now, both of these guys have had the same quarterback that has given them the majority of their passes and their touchdowns and all of that, right? Deion Branch and Julian Edelman both played with the greatest of all time, Tom Brady. I just don't see how we can sit there and say, like, Patriots fans, first off, if you are going to hold your ground, say, I don't care what you say, Ryan, Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer. Cool. You can be like that. You can have that mindset all day. I will not help you. I would not let you change your mindset. However, I don't see it possible. I just don't see how he makes it to the Hall of Fame. And if he does, what are we doing here? Are we just going to let everybody into the Hall of Fame? Is that what it is? And like, listen, Chad Ochocinco had far better stats, far better accolades, but no Super Bowls, so we're not going to put him in. Way better than both Deion and Julian Edelman. And people want to make the case for Eli Manning shouldn't get in. Trust me, if I had a vote, Eli would not be in. You take away those Super Bowls, only 2 Super Bowls that he played and won. You take those away, he is an average quarterback. Like, if you look at the stats, touchdowns, the wins, interception, touchdown-interception ratio, he was average. I don't want to put Eli Manning into the Hall of Fame. But what will also help him get into the Hall of Fame is his name. Manning. Hall of Fame. They don't have my vote. Neither one of those, even those 3 players. Deion Branch, you don't have my vote to get in the Hall of Fame either. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to put Julian Edelman in the Hall of Fame, which he is not worthy of, sorry, then you cannot put in Deion Branch. Or sorry, if you are going to put him in, then you have to put in Deion Branch. He's not worthy of the Hall of Fame, but you got to put in Deion Branch. Deion has to come first. There's no way Julian Edelman should get in, and Deion Branch does not.